Today, we will take on a very beautiful task. We will make the Queen Himiko smile. How to do that? Well, the Queen has tasked every builder in the kingdom with a very prestigious mission. We have to build the capital of Yamatai and make it the jewel of the archipelago. Our task is very simple. We have to surpass our competitors and build the most prestigious city of them all. A little bit about history. Yamatai or Yamatai-koku or Yamato-koku is a Sino-Japanese name of an ancient country in Wa or Japan during the late Yayoi period. I hope I said it correctly. The Yayoi period was about 1000 years before century. So back to the game. How do we have to do this? We have to use the resource that from the fleet that travel throughout the kingdom, and we have to prepare our strategy. We can recruit more specialists, and we have to do or whatever it takes to become the best builder of them all, so that the king or the queen, I mean in this case the Queen Himiko, will reward us for being the best builder. During the turn, the player will have to perform the actions from number 1 to number 5 that is listed on their player mat before the next player can take the turn. The first option, as the icon indicated with the arrow, is mandatory. If it has the arrow is gray and there's an X, it means it's an optional action. The first action is choosing a fleet tile. In this action, the player will pick one of the fleet tile. Each fleet tile will have the fleet that they will get or the boat that they will have or collect in this turn, the effect of the fleet tile, and the number indicate that the turn order for the next turn. Next, after choosing a fleet tile, the next optional action is trading. In trading, the players can either sell the boat or buy more boat to gain a resource. However, because the gold is so rare, so that no one actually sell them. Next action is a mandatory option, but first it also has the place boat, an optional option called placing the boat on the board. After placing the boat, if possible, the player has to do mandatory option, either build the construction or collect the tokens. After building or after the third options, the player will have to do the next mandatory options, which is placing the remaining boat on the board. If they happen to have 2 of them, then there will be a -1 victory point at the end of the game. Last but not least is recruiting the specialists for their extra power. As you can see here, we have Kachiku. At the end of the game, she will give us 1 victory point, and she has the power that we can spend 2 gold to get rid of one of the blockage token. In order to recruit them, we have to spend 2 of the same culture token or 3 of different culture token. Again, this is just an optional action. After all the players have completed their turn, then it indicates the end of round. Then we have to do some preparation. First of all, we will have to add 2 coins on every face-up specialist that's available. If the coin is already there, then we'll just keep adding 2 more. Next, we will draw new building tiles from the deck so that we will make sure that there are 5 building tiles visible. On the turn order track, we will start putting the players will start putting the meeple by the fleet that they acquire during the turn. For instance, the orange, they have 1 and 4, so they will put 1 and 4 in the turn order track, while the other player is 2 and 3, so the meeple will do 2 and 3 position. Next, we'll slide a hidden fleet over so that we can prepare for the next turn. What fleet is available as an option. Last but not least, we will return on the used fleet, shuffling. We'll shuffle on the used fleet and return back to the hidden fleet track. As soon as one of the following conditions fulfilled, then the game ends. 1. The player plays their last standard building, or there is no board of one color remaining when setting up a new round, or no one cannot replenish the specialist track, or the building row during the preparation for the next round. Then each player will start scoring their prestige points. There are so many different things, so many good impressions from this game. The best one is, of course, the presentation of the game. It's a very colorful and lavish game. It has a lot of top-notch wooden ornaments, quality boat, and of course the meeple as well. On top of that, it comes with each player will have a different set of buildings. The game also comes with a very nice reference sheet that can help players to reference back to what they can do during a turn, and the icons and the illustrations are pretty self-explanatory. However, one thing that I don't like about the presentation of the game is the color choice of some control token. Like these two control tokens, they almost have the same orange, just different shade of orange, which sometimes can be hard to see. About the game accessibility, it is a very easy to learn game, and of course, like after a few rounds, the player can start to realize or understand what each icons mean. On top of that, the appendix of the game also explain each of the power very carefully. Another thing that I like about the game is how deeply strategy this game can be. When you place the boat, when certain action you do, you may benefit your opponent. For instance, if you take the token, you may the culture token, then basically just clear the space for the building. Or sometimes when you acquire a specialist, you may open a new specialist for our opponent to get a chance on it too. If you don't take the specialist at this turn, and no one take the specialist at this turn, then when the next round comes, the specialist will have the incentive with more coins, and with more coins, it can help them to buy the fleet that they want. The gameplay is a little bit of a problem in my opinion, because this is an easy game, so I suppose it's mainly for the new players. But because of the end game condition, sometimes the game can drag for a very long time. We'll say about 70 to 90 or even 2 hours landmark, which can be a little bit problematic for the no-brainer games. However, if the new gamers or your casual game group are willing to play for a longer game and enjoy the beautiful artwork, then Yamatai is probably one of the best choices for you. Happy gaming!